Are we on? Are we on? Welcome, welcome, welcome to Basketball Heads Live. I am your host, Glenn Pooh Harding. And oh boy, we have a very special guest. This basketball head is a Laurinburg Institute great who was coached by the legendary Gil Reynolds in his last year before retirement. This basketball head grew up in the Lafayette Garden Projects where he played in the legendary Selvyn Smith Tournament, as well as Kingston Park, 8-Ball, the world-famous Rucker Park. Who could forget Forest Houses in the Bronx? And what about that Bigg Dogs Tournament of Harlem? Or the Bigg Dogs of Harlem, where he scorched opponents for 79 points in one game. He also was a member of the Madison Square Broncos, where he was coached by another legendary coach, Doc Nicelli, and his assistant coach, Gary Sims. This basketball head had his ups and downs in the streets, but after spending some time on Rikers Island, he did a 360 turn and changed his whole life around with the help of his family. In 1997, he attended Laurinburg Institute, where he averaged 38 points a game. That's crazy. After leaving Laurinburg, he followed Coach Gil Reynolds to Southampton College of Long Island under Brooklyn legend and former NBA player Sidney Green, who was the head coach. During the senior year, he led Southampton to a winning season while averaging a staggering 41 points, winning the ECAC tournament, which is the school's only championship. That year, he was 6th in Division II in scoring and led all divisions, including 1, 2, and 3 in free throw percentage. After this, basketball head college career was over, but he played professionally in Australia, where he averaged 28 points or more per game in every season. Nowadays, you can find him putting out quality hip-hop music and tearing down stages all over the world as Big Man Global. So, without further ado, help me welcome to the show, Laurinburg Institute great and Southampton College legend, Curtis, Big Man Global, Small.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Yes. You have just stepped out into the world of chaos, where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody. Get online, buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
I see you bobbing your head to that. I see you bobbing your head to that.
Yo, that intro got me hyped, man. I appreciate the intro. Yo, that's fire.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Look, well deserved, man. Well deserved, man. You've been putting it down for a lot of years out here. And as soon as I put up your picture, it was just mad people showing you love. Salute to my guy, Wes. You know, Wes, my guy. We came up competing against each other. And he talked about handing you a jersey at the Rucker and told you was next up, man.
Yeah, man, that was a big moment because obviously, you know, Wes is one of the OGs, and when you're younger, you pay attention to stuff like that. So I was very appreciative of that moment, and he's always told me important things as I was coming up. So shout out to Wes, man.
Yeah, salute to my guy Wes, man, for sure. Always supporting, man. So I want to jump right into this, man. Who introduced you to the game?
Well, you know, like it's this typical story of every New York City kid. It's a court on every corner, and you know you're gonna play what your friends was playing. So, in Lafayette Gardens, during the time, Selvyn Smith was a big deal. But when I was younger, I wasn't really that good. I just wanted to play and be a part of the team. So you know, Mike got me on a few teams, and as the seasons went on, I got a lot better. So I just played what my friends was playing. You know, it's a lot of dope people that come from LG that during that time that inspired me. So, you know, our projects is not that small. So it's only 7 buildings. So, you know, the word spread fast, and, you know, it's not that many courts. So everybody's usually in one spot.
What that 217? Was that 2 What was
Yeah,
that park?
2
Right,
yep.
right. That was a park where, you know, when I came to visit my family over there, that's the park that we all played at. And then later on, I got to play in Selvyn Smith. This is during the time of, you know, Moses Scary, Lloyd Daniels, that whole epic summer,
Yeah.
which was crazy. And rest in peace. I used to go watch my little cousin Peanut play over there, man. So rest
Yeah.
in peace, Nut.
Yeah.
Salute to the whole Davis family. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
Absolutely.
like, when you was coming up, who was the best player in the neighborhood when you was coming up?
If you want to talk about my immediate neighborhood,
Yeah,
it was obviously guys like Ali Johnson. It was guys like you know, Raheem Jennings. There was a player from my building named Derek Bailey. But one thing about Selvyn Smith is that people forget that Selvyn Smith was like how Dykeman is and how most of the big tournaments is. So if you was anybody, you came to the hood and played. And during my time, we idolized Buggs.
Yo, say that again. Ed Booger Smith. I say it all the time, man.
Ed Booger Smith. If you was a guard, you watch Buggs and you understood what he meant to the tournaments, and you understood how powerful that Kenny King's movement was all over the city. So for us to see that happen in other tournaments and them to come to LG, it was a big deal. You know, you had Feats was wilding. You know, you had White Boy Tate, Bobby Cunningham.
Yo, hold on, time out, Paul. Let's go back. Hold on. First take of the show. Yo, let me tell you. Tate played on my team in Brevard, right?
Okay.
We used to, you know, and this is no knock to Kenny. They know we used to give him that word, but this was when Kenny first started, right? And Tate, White Boy Tate, rest in peace. I didn't know how heavy in the streets Tate was, right? That's another part. But Tate was the first white boy coming to the hood doing the tricks like white chocolate and giving guys the business. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So we won the championship. Let me see if you can hold on. Let me see. You see that trophy right there? The big one?
Yep.
That's MVP trophy from '88. Tate was on that team. Right?
'88. Yeah.
Man, let me tell you, brother. I so appreciate that guy and love him so much because the passes he gave me and the way he was hooking everybody up was so crazy, man. So salute to Tate and salute to Bobby Cunningham doing his thing over in Australia.
Yep. And then if you was a little guy and you understood, like you knew what Darren meant. You know what I mean? Darren, Biz, half man, half amazing. Charles Jones. You know, Bud, Sal, all of those players that came through LG. You know what I mean? Like even players like my boy Raheem Jennings, my boy Pete Black, you know, Jermaine Brown. People don't remember that, understand Jermaine Brown that used to coach the Lincoln, main facts, that passed away. Our guy Jermaine, he was a problem. Like he was one of the smallest, youngest guards playing unlimited. And at that time, I idolized guys like that because I wasn't good at that time. I was just watching, and I was learning.
Yeah, I just saw Rod Jennings the other day at Brooklyn Collegiate because I think he works over at Brooklyn Collegiate. Coaching one of the teams. Yep. So let's dive into the other part, right? Because as you coming up, there were some other things taking over your life besides basketball, right? And this is some of the things we want to kind of get out to the youngsters out there. What were some things that was happening in the streets that kept you focused and away from ball?
Well, when I was younger, obviously, you go to school, and this is during a time where uniforms wasn't a policy, and most kids, you don't have a lot of the nice clothes and the nice shoes and stuff like that. So being in my neighborhood, without me saying much, I was influenced by a lot of the money getters. And I'm in a certain age to where once I started getting my feet wet in that street, you'll have an understanding of who I was running with and things that I was doing. So I just was in it for the money because I wanted sneakers and clothes, and I got tired of not having. So obviously with that curiosity and then being under the wing from some of the older guys in your neighborhood, you get influenced by getting money. And that's what I was doing. So even though I was able to play basketball, I still didn't have a lot of things. You know what I mean? That's when, you get upset at going to school and worrying about people talking about you and cracking on you. So I did what I had to do to fix that. You know what I mean? So when you're a kid at that age, getting 25 off of every 100 is a lot for you, especially if you're out there. So I'm one of the ones that's fortunate to understand it and be in it and still have a second shot at getting out. So now I'm just using what I know. Just because I was in it for a little while and I got out of it and I became successful, I don't want them to think that they could make it just because I made it, because I've seen a lot of people that lost. There's a lot of loss in those streets, and I try to explain to them that everybody's not going to be fortunate to get out. And through the grace of God and basketball and people like Mike Sr., my brother Kiddo, people that really cared about me, they stayed on me. So long story short, taking my stuff in the street, my ups and downs, ended up on Rikers Island. And before I went back to my next court date, I had, a lot of people from my neighborhood wrote the judge, wrote letters to the judge, people, church officials, almost anybody that my mother could get to, wrote the judge and said, listen, this kid made a few mistakes, but he's a good kid. He got really has a shot at doing something with his life if he get a second chance. And once I went back to court after some time, the judge terminated my probation. I was previously on probation. And then once he terminated my probation, that allowed me to be able to leave the state to go to Laurinburg Prep. And the rest was history. It may not have happened at the time that I wanted it to, but it happened, and I got a lot of amazing things out of basketball.
Yeah. Salute to Kiddo, another one of my guys, man. Salute to Kiddo, man, for sure.
Yeah. Mike Sr. and Kiddo.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that when Spike Lee used to have the camp at Pratt Institute, and he used to have all of the high school kids, and then the Division I players used to be the counselors. So
Facts.
Coach Reynolds was in there, and he told Mike Sr., yo, I need somebody that could flat out score. And at the same time, simultaneously, while Mike was looking for me, my brother Kiddo was walking to the Pratt Institute to watch the night games. He was like, let's go. So both of them on the same page at different times, didn't know that they was lining me up for that. So Coach Reynolds took me to one of the side courts, and he said, yo, catch the ball, spin it out, rake it through, go to the basket and make a basket. So I did it and I dunked it. Then he told me some other drills, shoot the jump shot. And then he was like, all right. And he walked away. Later on, he told Mike Sr., that's the guy I need right there. So with me being able to go to Laurinburg, I had to take my GED. And the first time I failed it, and then the second time I passed it, and it was probably like 3 days before I was scheduled to leave to North Carolina. I got my GED in the mail. I thought I wasn't going to be able to go, but then the rest was history, man. A great shot at life again.
Wow. Salute to Coach Reynolds, man, and Mike Sr., man. Did a lot for kids in the community, man. That's definitely deserves a lot of credit. But I want to go back, right? Because this is some of the things that I struggle to get through to my young boys who I'm teaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of them have the same story as you, right? Kids coming to school, not feeling like they have enough, right? So it's like, I got to kind of got to get on my own. And that's basically a lot of story of kids all over America, especially young black men feeling like they need the material items to feel whole, right? And then wind up putting themselves in a hole. You get what I'm saying? So I kind of tell the kids, because I see my brother in and out of prison, and my other brother do a lot of things for material items, and I know I didn't want to go that route. So early on, you know, you kind of struggle, and when you really look at it, when you think about it, a kid's supposed to, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you got your 3 hots in the cot, right? And I tell them, this is put no judgment on anyone, but I understand and I get it. This is what I try to explain to them, because I have a young man who got himself into some trouble this year, right? Because of that. Yeah. Because the guy who he hangs with gets a lot of things, right, from his parents, and stay fresh. And meanwhile, he don't have, and he feel like he got to keep up with his guy because he don't have the things that he needs. And it put a strain just on how he was able to live, right? Yeah. And now he got to start back over from scratch. And I always tell him, you got another shot to be who you want to be now, but in a rightful way. Instead of, scrambling and hitting the streets, you can do it in the right way and build yourself up to become the man you want to become. And I think a lot of kids, we have a hard time dealing with that because we get pressured by all of these outside things that sometimes is out of our control. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that you was able to escape those things, and then you had people in your corner that really care for you, because it's a lot of kids right now that's in prison and in jails all over the country who don't have that situation going for them.
And they're very talented, and it comes down to mentality and priorities. I see a lot of other coaches, they go into school, they're not worrying about what their pants look like. They're not worrying about what their shoes look like. But for some reason in our culture, those are the things that are priorities to us. And also intelligence is looked down on. I feel like the word geek should never exist, because we look down on intelligence now, and then later on we need it, so I just try to tell the kids that your mentality is everything. How you think it shapes your actions and the things that you will do and the stuff that you aspire to. So I was fortunate enough to have solid people in my corner, like Kiddo, my brother Terrence Robinson, and people that really said, nah, you're gonna play ball, man. Like you're gonna play ball. And I respected them. And also, once you're giving kids direction, it's not as simple. Just giving them the right things is not the end of the battle. They have to respect it enough to take that direction. You know what I mean? It's so many times we get told things that are the right things, and we don't listen until we're ready to. And sometimes you listen when it's too late. Sometimes you pass the point of no return. You get one felony on your record, and as an adult, and that can shape your life. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, that's what I tell them.
No, that's 100% fact. Yo, all my people that's on Instagram, come over to YouTube, click on the link in the bio, and they'll take you right to the channel, to the show, NYC Basketball Network. So come on over, check out this dope interview. My guy, Big Man Global, the real Curtis Small. Let's go back a little bit and talk about your 1 year high school at Street Academy, right?
Yeah.
Explain to everybody, because I had Tymel Murphy, right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Who went there? You know what I'm saying? This is his book. Go cop this book, Poetry in Motion, by one of our basketball greats, Tymel Murphy. You know what I'm
gonna
saying?
look to that.
Yeah. So, and tell me about your 1 year that you spent there.
When I was in Street Academy as a freshman, that's when I was going through my battles with worrying about what people thought and worrying about having sneakers. So I dropped out in the 9th grade. At the end of the 9th grade, I played a season there. Then I was in the streets and I went back to the equivalent. I got my GED like if I would have been a year out of high school or 12th grade. So I had to pass a test that has all 4 years of high school summed up in 1 year. Like I had to pass that test in order to go away to Laurinburg Prep. Because you know, when you go Division I or you go to school, if you don't have 13 core classes or 2.5 grade point average or SAT score 820, if you're missing one of those, you can't play D1.
Facts.
So I got my GED, and then Laurinburg, Coach Reynolds and them sent me the ticket, and I went down there, and I made it happen instantly. Like I just played with what was in front of me. Like I took advantage of that moment, and the rest was history. I just
and we're gonna jump right down to there. I just want to know, when did you play for Doc Nicelli and the Broncos? Like what years was that?
I played for Doc when I was maybe 14 or 15, and when at that time, being in school, like going to the Broncos, going to Madison Square Boys Club, that was an outlet. That was a big deal for me to be able to have that home and finish school and go there and play basketball. So that was still my time of me finding my way, but I still was good enough to make the team. And I would be there from after school and I would stay till the lights went off. It's just, that's all I had was basketball, and I would go home and do the same thing again. So yeah, my younger years when I was 14, 15 playing for Doc, that was a great moment for me.
Now, was that during those times, that's when you started to explore all the different tournaments that the Selvyn Smith, the Kingston Park, 8-ball, Rucker Park. What years was that when you was making your whole summer league run?
Yeah, so when I was making my summer league run, like 17, 18, 19, so up all the way leading up to before I went to college. So maybe a couple years before prep school, then I would come home and then I would play in those tournaments. And those were the times when I was just really starting to become good. Like I was becoming a starter on any team that I played on. Playing an 8-ball, that was, when you play an 8-ball, you going against killers every night. Like you're not
the trenches.
Like Reggie Roberson, Gary Irvin. So this was like Gersh wasn't even like it is. Like it was 8-ball or Kingston.
Facts.
Or Soul in the Hole. When I used to go watch Soul in the Hole, but I wasn't good enough to play at that time. I ain't even gonna front. At that time, I wanted to be a Kenny King so bad. I wanted to, because that's your first time you watching the type of dominance they had. Watching Charles and Boogs and seeing that it's guys my size that's doing that. Selden, you know what I mean? Like all of the legends that played with Kenny, you know what I mean? So just watching that pushed me a lot. And then I just dominated my places that I played in. Like Bigg Dogs of Harlem, the second year was in. I don't know if you know Big Keith from LG, but Big Keith from LG, he started that tournament.
Really?
Before it moved to behind the school, it used to be in the park that have all the colors on the floor that above the rim was in Harlem, 135th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did my thing in there, 79 points in one game. They stopped the game with like 3 minutes and change because we fouled out. We only had 3 players at one time, and they wasn't letting us play with 3 players. So the game got stopped. But as a basketball player, when those nights, it's very rarely when it's your night, you understand, like it's your times overseas. I had 60. I had when it's your night, and that was one of my nights. And then when you coming up in the streets, it's like you play ball from sun up to sundown. You already conditioned because you in every tournament. Then after that, you playing pickup in your park.
Facts.
You lose a game, you might not get on for the next day. You ain't getting back on in a while.
Tell them.
That's how LG was.
That's real.
So shout out to everybody that came through there. Like then at nighttime, and I think this is why I led the nation in free throw percentage, because anybody from LG will tell you every night I'm in the park shooting 100 free throws. And I would try to make sure that I don't miss no more than 5. And I did that over and over and over and over. So now when I get to college in my senior year, crunch time games, I got the ball in my hand. I'm looking for them to foul me because I practiced that and I condition myself. Like if you from LG during my time, everybody remember me being in the park, snow, rain, dark. I'll shoot. If you can make it in the dark, you're gonna make it in the game. So I think that's what helped me.
Wow. My guy Tom Rivero said, ask him did he have any battles against my uncle, Nutter Butter, and AKA Black Nissan in the Bigg Dogs tournament behind Harlem Hospital.
See that when they put the tournament behind Harlem Hospital, I didn't play in it anymore, but I know those names.
Got you.
I know those names. Like,
got you.
And then Bigg Dogs got so much better over the time. Like once it became big, like I remember going there and I played against Rod Strickland in one of them things behind Harlem Hospital. But I was playing in it before they moved it from the park right up the block. But I remember those names, bro. Those household names.
Paul Scurry said, "That's my main man right there."
Yeah,
he said kind of late, but I had to see one of my young favorite players.
That's my OG right there, man. Like another one that's always telling me the right stuff. He actually stand for something. You know what I mean? Like, he not gonna tell you what you want to hear. Gonna tell you what's real.
Now, you coming up during your summer league tournaments and all the tournaments you name. Who asked did you bust to let you know that your name was official out in these streets? And it's not to disrespect anybody. This is just real basketball talk right now.
Yeah, it was. See, when I was coming up and I was playing in tournaments all the time, my only regret is that when I was really good, like my first and second season overseas, and I would come home, I didn't play in no tournaments because that's when a lot of things wasn't sanctioned, and I had a fear of not being able to. I would lose my contract if I got hurt or something. So, but coming up, I had a lot of 30 ball and a lot of 40 balls on a lot of people. 8 ball, like it was a lot of players. Like if you was from that time, like I had a lot of battles with a lot of players during that time. It's nobody that stand out because obviously in the game of basketball, you could be on the court, somebody could score 2-3 points on you, 2 baskets, and your whole end of the game that'll be on you. They'll be like, "Oh, he had 40 on him." You know what I mean? So
right.
I had a lot of guys that pushed me. And a lot of guys.
79. You had 79 in one game, right?
Yes.
Was 79. Was that team any good? Let's keep it real. Like, did you have 79 against a really good team, or they were?
We was losing, and we was losing that game, and we had 6 players, and 3 of them fouled out. And at the end, we ended up not being able to finish that game. But when you playing with a team and they understand you rolling, you know what I mean? Like, I had 17 3-pointers. Like, everything to the basket, buckets like that. Like, it's a lot of people that could verify that game. The team was solid. We was losing. But my team just kept giving me the ball. It was similar to playing ABA overseas in Australia. You get those nights when it's your night. You understand? Like,
no, I get it. Paul said he's being nice. He gave guys the business.
Yeah, it was a lot of battles, man. My only regret is not playing when I was at the peak of when I was really good. Obviously, you chasing a lot of tournaments when you're younger and you playing. You got 3 games in one day.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's kind of difficult to remember everybody. When you went down to Laurinburg, right? You being a guy from Brooklyn, New York, Bed-Stuy, and you going down to Laurinburg where you're in the sticks, fam. Like you really, it's like no man's land down there. How was your transition once you got to Laurinburg, and what kind of person did it make you once you got down there?
Being coached by a lot of my coaches when I was younger, they gave me the basic tools, but most of the time coaches play you to your strengths. So, okay, they said, Kurt, all right, you a shooter. I would get subbed in at the end of the game and I was just hit a 3-point in the corner. But as I got better going to Laurinburg, it was a difficult transition because this ain't street ball no more. You got to know the plays. And then I'm going in there with a legendary coach. Anybody that played at Laurinburg, that if you was the point guard or the guy, Coach made you wear number 10. You wore number 10 if you was his guy. You know what I mean? Skip to my Lou. A lot of people anybody that was nice that went to Laurinburg, you had number 10. So just being able to, I made a lot of mistakes when I started getting into the structure of basketball, understanding the plays and putting people in their place. I wasn't a point guard. I always tell people this is the era I should have been playing it, because at that time, people didn't really accept small guards scoring like that when you get everybody involved. You know what I mean? So I had some experiences where that worked against me when I went to pro camps. I'm one of the smallest guys there. I'm coming off on a pick and roll. I got to switch. It's a 7-footer on me. I'm supposed to dump it down to my big man because he got the guard on him, but I'm shooting it. So the transition of understanding the plays and knowing all 5 positions, it was difficult at first, especially playing with Coach Reynolds. It was like, he not having that.
Yeah, it definitely a tough coach to play for if you want to learn how to play, right? It could be tough for other people, but just the right type of coach for yourself. For those people that's in the room, those people that's on Instagram, come over to NYC Basketball Network. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let's keep this, this movement going strong. Let's talk about your time. Still, you're at Laurinburg, but you're at Laurinburg with one of hip hop's most recognizable personalities in Joe Budden. Right?
Yes.
Bro, when you sent me that interview and I'm reading it, I had to click back twice and I'm like, Joe Budden played for Laurinburg? First of all, I didn't even know Joe Budden played ball.
Yeah, Joey, man, that was my guy. He didn't play that much, but he was very athletic. I think he was at the school for disciplinary reasons. Because Laurinburg was a place that if you did some things, like the judge will order you to go there and finish up. So Joe was there with us. We clicked up right away. He from Jersey, so the New York guys, we stuck together. So Joe was really athletic. His skill level wasn't on where we was at, but he was good enough to make the 10th or 11th spot, and he had one of the best games of his life against Oak Hill Academy, a triple-double. And that game, I had 50.
Yo, hold on. Time out. Number tech, fam. Number tech. Yo, first of all, for those people that don't understand, we talking about Joe Budden right now playing for Laurinburg Institute with my guy, Kurt Small, and having the best game of his career against Oak Hill Academy, triple-double. And in the article, Joe goes, yeah, but I played with one guy, Kurt Small. Man, he was really good. I think he had about 50.
Yeah. So Joe,
tell me about that game, fam. Tell me about that whole game against Oak Hill.
First of all, no shade. Oak Hill blew us out the gym. Right? They was 9th in the country. They was
Got
knife in the country, but we got to play what's in front of us. So,
That's right.
you know, I wasn't somebody that they was easily able to stop. I still was raw, but I was a shooter, and I think that from a guard perspective, that's what kept me across the water and made me successful at times like that, is being able to shoot from anywhere. So, you know, having 50 points against Oak Hill, that's you know, that was a highlight of my career. They blew us out, but it still was a good experience of knowing playing somebody that caliber. Like the traps were different, the press was different. You earned everything that you like. It wasn't no cakewalk. Like, so, shout out to them. But you know, I did what I had to do.
Man, you did more than that, man. I think if you score 50 on any level, that's still great, right? People don't understand how hard it is to get 50. You know what I'm saying? The highest I ever scored was 54. You scored 79. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how on fire you have to be? Like, you got to be like that. Remember that what was that game called when you get on fire? It was like not called Space Jam.
Yeah. I think right? NBA Jam, yep.
NBA Jam, right? When you're on fire, the ball is on fire. Man, that's what it feels like. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Listen, when you saw yourself in Slam magazine, what was that like, and what year was it?
I was a sophomore in college at Southampton, and I had just led the conference in scoring my freshman year, and I got the call, and it was a dope interview. The lady that actually interviewed me is now the editor-in-chief at XXL.
Wow.
Her name is Vanessa Satin, and I was doing my thing. I had, you know, like, I feel like my story is not different. I could tell you dozens of people that have the talent, the troubles, take a few wrong turns, bounce back, and doing their thing. Like, that's a very common thing. We got a lot of winners out here. So when I got the call from Slam, I felt it was a good feeling, because I'm on a page with an NBA player and a Division I player, and I'm a Division II player, and I got mostly the whole page. So that was a big deal for me. So it talked about my time on Rikers Island. It talked about me seeing my best friend get murdered. It talks about bouncing back and averaging 38, no, 9 assists, 4 steals a game at Laurinburg.
You good. Yep, you good now. Say it.
You know what I mean?
Repeat that again.
It talks about me averaging 38, 9 assists, 4 steals at Laurinburg per game, and just
you got your hand in your speaker. You got your hand in your speaker.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you much better now. Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, 38 points a game, 9 assists, 4 steals at Laurinburg, and it's like, to get the recognition, like, Slam was a big deal. You know what I mean? Kobe and Shaq on the cover. You know what I mean? That's their 3rd ring. So it was a big deal. So I was honored to be in that, and I felt like I earned it. And shout out to Vanessa for calling me and getting me that story.
Wow, something's going on with your the audio part.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, that's it. Now, does she remember you? Does she remember that story when you speak to her now that she's at XXL?
Yeah, because when she was first becoming a journalist, that was one of the beginning spots that she was. So those stories still mean a lot to her. And yeah, like, you know, it was a big deal for me. Like, Slam is one of the top basketball magazines, and I was able to be in it. I was in it another time for like something smaller, just doing my thing in other areas of basketball. But that article right there with Shaq and Kobe on the cover, like, is one of the. It's maybe about 4 things I have in my scrapbooks, and that's one of them. That's a highlight. You know, it's
a highlight. Yeah.
You know, getting a letter from agents from the NBA telling me that I got 1 foot in. I'm good enough to play at that level, but it's just some things that I didn't know. Like, people don't know. When you go to pro camps, it's a stat called error of omission. So that means that if I'm coming down on a 3-on-1 and I pull up from the foul line, even though it goes in, I made the wrong decision. because I'm supposed to bounce pass and get a layup, which is a higher percentage shot. So it's called error of omission. I had a lot of those where the basket might have went in, but the decision making, if I miss that, the team is at a disadvantage. So they was like, you got an NBA talent, you can shoot, you're a point guard, but go overseas and season your game a little bit. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I seen a kid today play for James Monroe, and they was playing against Susan Wagner, and a big kid, was dribbling on a fast break, and you know that drill when they have you dribble to the foul line, stop, and make that bounce pass or that decision, right? He didn't stop, and the guy stood right there, and he ran right over the kid. And it just took me to a flashback to when I was younger. Was like, I wonder if this coach is doing that drill, because we was all taught that you come on a fast break and you're in the middle of the court, and somebody stopped the ball, you stop at the foul line to make a decision. Now, if it's not open, you kind of get around them, pull up for the jump shot, make that bounce pass. But it's those type of decisions that you get taught when you're younger. And when you're a scorer like yourself, we just taught to put it in the hole.
That's it.
By any means.
That's it, man. You right. And I think most of the time, coaches these days, they play you to your strengths. If you're the biggest guy on the floor, you're gonna play center. Even though when the height catch up to you, you're really a shooting guard or a small forward. Now you don't got the tools because they played you at the center. So I was a guy that, because I can score, I had a lot of responsibility in scoring when it wasn't cool for small guards to shoot it all the time. Now you labeled as what they call a combo guard. It's really no pass first point guards. You got to be able to score and get people involved. Dame Lillard, Ja, Trey Young. So you got to, that's the game now.
Man, those people that's on Instagram, what's up? What's up? Come over to NYC Basketball Network. We on YouTube. Y'all able to hear the conversation if y'all on YouTube. So come over to YouTube, NYC Basketball Network. Make sure you subscribe. And also, the link is in the bio. The link is in the bio. All right? Listen, I was fortunate enough when I made Lincoln, I was 5'8", and then the summer going to my sophomore year, I grew up. My coach, president, coach, the two guard, right? He never forced me down low, and I had played in that position my whole life, 2 and a 3. But I understand a lot of guys who I know that played at other schools, 4 power forwards. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
6 center, and then you go to college and guys is like 6'8", 6'10".
Yep.
Looking at
definitely
you
an eye opener. Definitely an eye opener, man. That's why I like when coaches work on showing kids all of the tools that they might need to know, and they understand the position they're going to be on the next level. And a lot of coaches don't see that. They think it's pointless for you to work on your handle as a big man. You know what I mean? But you need everything.
Definitely need everything, man. So you guys made it to the ECAC tournament, and you averaged like 41 points during the tournament, right? And got your school their only championship, being number 6 scorer in the country, and the number 1 free throw percentage in Division 1, 2, and 3. Let's talk about that time and that run.
Yeah, so that was my senior year, 2002, and we wanted to go to the NCAA tournament. Our school has never been in the history to the NCAA. So even if we'd have went there and got bounced first round, that's what we wanted to do. So when we got invited to the the ECACs, it's like the NIT of our region. When you don't make the tournament, you get that bid to go. So when we got that call, we was a little disappointed, and we understood the schools we had to play against, and we was like, we knew we felt like we was gonna lose, so we didn't even take change in clothes.
Wow.
We didn't even take change in clothes because the schools that we had to play against blew us out. They had like 2 or 3 Division I players that transferred to their school. Like, it was powerhouses. And when we went there, nothing to lose. We the lowest seed. I just got busy on them. Like I averaged 41 for the tournament. You know what I mean? Like, and got MVP. And they definitely, I talked to players from that time. They still think about how they wasn't supposed to lose to us. St. Rose, Philadelphia Textile, like they wasn't supposed to lose to us. But I just was like, you know, one of those nights, man. Like, you know, you get those nights, and then once we, you know, like it's like when you got a bully when you younger, and you finally stand up to him, and then now your courage and your heart is out. So when we beat the first team, we was like, yo, we belong here. Like we didn't take. There was no looking back. So the team that we beat, they beat us by like 50 during the season, and then we got them up first. We wiped them, we dust them off, and then we got another team that beat us by like 40 something. So like for us to win it, and the only championship in the school history, that was a big. We still talk about that to this day, and that was in 2002. Like how they felt, how the other schools felt when like they really was disappointed that they lost to us. I went to work like.
I can still see it. I can still see the smile and the joy that you have just talking about that moment, because there's nothing like teams counting you out. Trust me, I've been in that position. We won the city championship because Manhattan Center counted us out. Then we beat Malloy and Kenny Anderson and them because they counted us out, right? And it just went on and on and on. There's nothing like people looking past you and you playing with nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose.
But averaging 41 and getting MVP is sick.
Yeah, man. Like it's like, you know, you practice, but then, you know, you get one of those nights under the lights where everything falling. And my team rallied around me. That's why I sent you that stat sheet. That was the actual championship game. And it was you know, I had an all-around game, you know, that's when I was really coming into my senior year. I was really feeling like I couldn't be stopped. You know what I mean? Like, I was 6th in the country behind Flip Murray, that went to the Seattle Supersonics.
Facts, I know.
That's Flip, when they was the Sonics. Also AO from And1 Mixtape, he was playing at Henderson. He was also in the top 10 in scoring. So it was a great moment for us to go up, for me to go out like that. You know what I mean?
Wow, man. Absolutely incredible. So how did you make the jump from being, you know, number 6 scorer in the country to going over to Australia? How did that happen?
Okay, so when a friend like you, we already talked about the legend Bobby Cunningham. That's one of my mentors. That's somebody that taught me a lot of the game, and he was very hard on me because he wanted me to be great. He was already playing in Australia. Bobby Cunningham has a wife. That's my sister, Jasmine. They have a brother, which is my younger brother, named Ja. So Ja came over to America and went to Southampton. So during my sophomore year, because I know Bobby Cunningham, and when Ja was over here, I looked out for him. Like that was basically my family. He's from another country. He come to New York, like that's my brother. So they said, you know, come to Australia to visit and during the summer. So when I went to Australia to visit before coming back to my junior season, like it was one of the most amazing experiences that, like, they wanted me to stay then. When I was playing ball over there, they had never really seen up close a guy with handles and jumping ability. They only seen it on And1 Mixtape. And the small guards over there wasn't really doing what I like. Like, I would be like Iverson and Ben Gordon together. So I was doing that there. So I started a little trend, and I was going to the pro games over there. Then at halftime, they'll let you shoot on the court. So during one of the games, I just started dribbling through the kids, and every kid from the stands was coming out trying to take the ball from me. So I would be the show that I was putting on, like, they loved that entertainment. They never seen that before. So they wanted me to stay then. They was going to send an import home, but I said it's really important for me to graduate, get my degree, and if I don't have nothing significant on the table, I was going back to Australia. So that visit is what made me lock in and say, okay, I had a lot of Spanish speaking countries. I didn't want to deal with the language barrier. I was already familiar with Australia. I had family over there, Pete and Lee Watson, the Cunningham. So, you know, I was like, I'm at home. They told me my contract was going to be guaranteed no matter if I got homesick. Because, you know, when you're overseas and you're not playing, they give you 3 or 4 games and they packing you up.
Mm-hmm.
They not letting you have a whole season full of like, they protect themselves. So it was like, you know what, come over here, you guarantee like out the gate average 30. So that visit when I was in college, meeting a fan, when I was coming home to go back to start my junior year in the airport, I was talking to my brother Ja, his mother, her name is Lee Watson. I was talking to her. I just broke down crying. I didn't even want to leave. Like
Wow.
I was so emotional in the airport having to leave them because they took care of me. They looked after me so good. Like, and then the town, Australia had been itself as a welcoming culture. As soon as I got off the plane, they was inviting me to. So, you hear me now?
A little bit. You gotta
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah. So as soon as I got off the plane, they was inviting me to
Yeah.
dinner, and I was like,
Hold on for a sec. Somebody trying to call you, right? Somebody was trying to call you.
yeah.
That's what probably happened. So we gotta wait for a sec. Said, oh, had a tryout with the Sonics as well. Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So
Yep, you good.
they treated me really well. And I was like, it's people that I know all my life, walk past them every day. They never invite me to dinner. Come to dinner. So I just fell in love with the country. You know, and then when I picked up the music, they loved me. And that's when I wasn't even good as an artist. They still loved me. Like, that's how Australia is. It's like, once you got a fan, you got a fan for life.
Wow.
Like, so I said, I'm going back. I said, I had Spain, I had Dominican Republic, I had all those countries. I said, I'm going back to Australia.
Man, that's dope. That's dope. So when did you start to pick up the pen, and when did that kind of take over you know, your life and to where you at right now?
Well, when I towards maybe my 6th season, my 7th season, I was a little homesick.
So
I was like,
I ain't meant to cut you off because the audio is still off. So
yeah, I don't know what's happening.
Everybody call you. That's so it's probably gonna take, you know, another minute or two before. But
yeah,
what I was you spent 6 or 7 seasons over there?
Yeah, 8.
Wow, that's dope.
So I just was like, I like the game, but I don't love it anymore. And I was losing motivation. I was like, what's next? Like, what am I gonna do next? Like, and then I went to I had a doubleheader in Melbourne, and I went to see a friend of mine's had a show out there. My man Kid Mack, my brother Kid Mack. He was from Harlem. He was already naturalized because his father was a citizen, Darryl McDonald. So
That's D-Mac?
That's D-Mac, yes. Yes.
That's my guy, another friend of the show.
I was out there with D-Mac. So his sons is like my brothers. So I went to see Kid Mac perform at a show, and I was immediately inspired to rap because I saw my friend do it. So I started picking up the pen. Always had an extensive vocabulary, and I got better fast. And I just wanted it. Same work ethic I applied to basketball, I did with the music. Then when I came home in 2012, I was like, I had to brand myself, because they know me for basketball, and they was like, oh, another basketball player rapping. Like,
right.
So I had to earn it, you know what I mean? And then had a very decorated, independent, still going with it and just killing everything, you know, accomplishing all my goals and stuff like that. Got a lot of music out. So yeah. And that's what inspired me to put the music curriculum in my program. Your problem is our problem. I feel like we got to get back to it takes a community to raise our kids. And I remember being younger and my neighbor was able to check me. Like if I was doing something wrong, Mike Sr., like nowadays we can't even really yell at other people's kids. It's so, it's a sensitive time. So that's why I created the program with the music curriculum, showing kids how to write clean music and make songs, because I feel like in the music industry, a lot of negativity is being pushed, and it's not a coincidence. And if you control the mind, you control the hearts and the actions. So I feel like it's not enough light on a lot of dope hip hop that's clean. You could still paint that picture without using the N-word or cursing. So I created that.
Yo, you heard of Simba?
Simba the rapper? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you listen to his mixtape that he got out? Results take time.
Nah, I didn't hear it yet, but I'm gonna check it.
I'm going to send it to you, right? Trust me. I have a few young kids in my like to rap, right? So this kid is just like, I'm shooting my ops, and I'm going. I said, yo, time out. I said, yo, he talking about how you live in the hood, and I was like, yo, fam, you live in suburbia, you live in Long Island. Have you ever shot a gun before? He was like, no. I was like, what beef do you got in the streets? He was like, none. I said, then why you rapping about you got all these ops and you shooting and killing your ops? He said, because that's what everybody else is doing. And it goes back to what you just said, right?
Yeah, it's very important, because I'm around grown men that I talk to that do music that tell me that it's so hard to rap without cursing, and I disagree. And I'm going to shows and I'm just showing them that, like I'm showing the young kids that I'm able to do what I'm teaching y'all how to do. And I said the powers that be that understand hip hop and they know the music, they know that they're gonna push the stuff that's gonna keep us in a space. You know what I mean? And like it goes back to the word nerd being existing, because we look down on intelligence in hip hop. If you not saying anything negative or anything that's detriment to the culture, they don't want it. They don't want to hear positive songs. Like I know a lot of dope artists that don't curse at all. And I'm not telling them that they have to rap for the rest of their life without cursing. I just want you to be able to do it. I just want you to be able to make a song, flexing your vocabulary and understanding. Like I go in there with records that they don't even notice that there's no cursing in it, because it's still in the lines of what's happening. I'm not talking about murder. I'm not talking about none of that stuff, but it's a banger. You know what I mean? So that's what's very important to me. Because I looked around in the underground community, like coming up, the subject matter hasn't changed. Hip hop used to have a message. If they don't have it no more. So I said I could complain about it, or I could do something about it.
Like this.
Hey, yo, my man Big Man Global did a song, right?
Like that.
I wanted to bounce and like, give it that DJ doo-wop feel, that New York feel. Let's go. Damn, tell me why did you have to change?
Now one curse and everything.
To the fame, and I ain't saying no names, but you've been messing with some lanes. Now we want to talk about stuff that we
like that.
To. When you give it up, ain't no getting to know you. They ain't even working for it. I feel like they. That's why I'm hoping you go back to the old you.
Yo, first of all, you got doo-wop on track. Salute. You got doo-wop on the track. Like, I don't know who is and how he put it down in the space of mixtapes. The early 90s, he had the streets on lock.
Yo.
Him and Jesse West. Like, I just remember, and then doo-wop and them used to be going back to back. That you was able to have doo-wop on the track and you kicking it to the ladies in such a street way, but also clean, respectable, and not corny. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? I'm gonna tell you something about that record. Because understand metaphors. That whole record would appear to be about a relationship, but it's how I feel about the state of hip hop. Tell me, why did you have to change how you look, how you sound? You've been acting kind of strange. All of a sudden, you addicted to the fame, and I ain't saying no names, but you've been messing with some lames. Never want to talk about stuff that we go through. The way you give it up, ain't no getting to know you. They ain't even working for it. I feel like they owe you. That's why I'm hoping you will go back to the old you. It's about the game right now. It's not about no relate. That's how you play with that pen, with the metaphors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I go through this all the time, and people always ask me, you know, when I'm on, I live on YouTube. I don't even watch TV. I go on YouTube and I'll pick and watch what I want to watch. And if I want to watch a movie, go on my Fire Stick and pick the movies that I want to watch. But I'm a guy who like to go listen to hip hop. You get what I mean? Like new hip hop. I love to discover new music. And it's a thing for me because I was like that back in the days when hip hop wasn't playing 24/7 on the radio, when you had to stay up late at night and get the records and tape it, try to get the commercials out to make sure you had a nice slew of music to listen to going in that long train ride out to Lincoln. Right? So I love new music. Love what you're doing, brother. And just keep putting out. Look, whenever you get something new, send it to me. We'll promote it on my page. You know what I'm saying? To let people know that there's other ways to approach this. We know the powers that be would love for us to kill each other off. And music is about vibration, right? So I tell kids, it's people out here that's young who I love. It's the dudes who are whack. Like, I know the difference between good and whack music, right? If all of y'all sound the same, I don't want to listen to all of y'all who sound the same. That's just what it is.
Right, man. And I tell them all the time, like, if that's all we digesting, of course it's going to affect our mentality and our actions and stuff like that. Now, I could jump in that bag if I need to. Like, I've been on K-Slate 3 times. I bodied a lot of showcases, freestyle ciphers. Right. And it's just like, I just feel like if you at a certain age or a certain stage, your mentality should be different. Your give back should be different. It should be stronger, and you should have the understanding of how powerful music is. Sometimes, like, people used to fall out for Michael Jackson and can't even speak English.
Wow.
Like, it's music. Music is powerful, and it's not a coincidence that almost every person that has made it from New York City over the last 15 years has been in a gang or in gang culture. That's not a coincidence. They understand. They know where we're going to be as a people. So I'm not going to keep talking about it. I'm going to keep flexing my pen, creating a lot of young people coming up that's writers that could talk about what the pain they going through and express it in an intelligent way. Like, I'm all for that. Nah,
that's dope, man. I'm putting a couple of your links in the chat. I put the K-Slate freestyle. Also put the feeling joint that you got, the video that you got. I put that in the link. So if y'all want to check out my guy Bateman Global's music, I got 2 links in the chat. So just click on that and, man, take you right to it, man. Really, really good music, for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna be shooting a lot of new videos during the top of the year. This year is the 50th year hip hop, so I'm involved in a lot of events that they celebrating hip hop for the whole year. It's events that's going on from January 1st to December 31st, all in the name of the 50th year hip hop. So I got my hand in on a lot of that, and it's gonna be a lot of dope things that's gonna be coming from me on the music side. So just stay tuned for that.
Yo, please let me know, because I would definitely pull up. Trust me.
Got you. I definitely will.
Yes, I definitely know. What up, Raphael? What's going on? So let's go back to the ball real quick. What was this scene like when N1 came to town in Australia, and who were some of the guys you played against?
It was the energy was crazy. When they came to Australia, that's when, like, these are my guys. Like, after the games was over, we in the rooms together. That's when Escalade and Ali Mo was still alive.
Rest in peace. both games.
My guys, you know what I mean? So, but from the overall temperature of it, I got the impression that the fans didn't really enjoy it like what they see on the tape, because we had 12 like professional players. Like me and Sedell Threek Jr. was in the backcourt together. So it wasn't all that bouncing it off our heads and throwing it through our legs and stuff. That's what the fans wanted to see. We played more real basketball, but going at it with Professor and Hot Sauce in all the cities, that was an amazing experience. And also just bugging out with Ali Mo and Escalade and Half Man, Half Amazing. You know, that's my guy.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
So when he came across the water, he saw me, he hugged me, like he's always embraced me, like, and it was just great time. My most memorable moments of that time is a lot of the stuff off the court.
Right.
Just bugging out with them and having priceless moments with, like, just seeing how the fans reacted to them. Like, it was a great feeling to see, like, them have that reaction. It was like really lining up. Like, they would line up for your autograph and then do the same thing the next day. Like, so it was a great experience, like getting that experience playing against those guys, and I had fun.
Man, that's dope. So do you have I see, okay, hold up. See, fam, you got me. This is, I love it. I just put up, that's Apple Music right there, right? Support my guy. It's Apple Music right there. All the songs, Decoded, right? The Feeling, Sounds Like, and this is Coming For You single, right?
Yeah,
and
that's a lot of stuff out there.
Albums Alive, yes.
Yep.
Oh, the artwork is crazy.
Yeah.
For sure.
Alive, man. That my project Alive, it got put on ice because I dropped it right before the pandemic. We had no idea. I dropped it in November, then they shut the city down in March. But that Alive, that adapted to life in various eras. Like that was like, I put a lot into that project. Still stuff that I run with. The Feeling is from that project. People who hear it and think it's a new record. Like, I've been tearing a lot of shit up with some of that music.
Yo, this is what I'm saying, right? If you can help me, I know I sound like a dinosaur when I say, yo, if you could find someone who has a DAT player, I would love to get my music in digital form, right? I would love it because I have all of this music that no one have ever heard before. Actually, I played it for some of my kids, and they couldn't believe me until they started hearing my voice. And they were just like, this is you. I was like, I know you guys see me in school every day and y'all see me as this educator, but we had a life before this, right? So
that's right.
If you know anyone, you know, I'll go to the studio, pay them, make sure they straight.
I'm gonna get on that for you. I'm gonna get some result. I'm gonna get on that for you.
I appreciate that. Anybody out there who knows somebody got a DAT player, right? Your boy got to get these albums out into the world, because I always feel like if you have music, it should be for the world to hear. You shouldn't just have it in your closet or on your laptop, you know, on your computer saved. The world should hear it no matter what capacity. So we got to
get that out there.
For sure. So, let me just say this, right? So I'll tell you the short story. So one day, I'm over Big Daddy Kane house, right? So AB and Big Daddy Kane, they went to Sarah J. Hell together. So he plugged us up with Kane, and Kane and us, we became very cool. And there's a knock at the door. Well, actually, the bell rung when he was living in Jamaica States. And at the door is Jay-Z and the Rangers. This before Reasonable Doubt, right?
Yeah.
So he comes to Kane crib because he's going to Stretch Armstrong of Barbados. He's like, yo, I'm going up to the radio station. I want you to come with me. He was like, all right, cool, but I got my people here. They rap too. He was like, all right, bring them. So we all go up to Stretch Armstrong and Barbados show. And on the way there, you know, if anybody know about Stretch Armstrong Barbados, you got to wait till somebody come downstairs and let you in.
Yeah.
So during this time, he's letting us listen to Ain't No Nigga with him and Foxy. And he explaining how Jazz played the whole beat all the way through, and this new girl that was coming out. And we were just like, wow, this is banging, right? So then we played them. I think we played them What's Your Rep. That's the first song Easy Mo B did for us, right? It's feeling it. Boom. So we go upstairs, Stretch Armstrong, the Barbados, and we all rap. My crew was 3 of us, me, Stem, Todd, Kane, Jay-Z, and the Rangers, 2 guys. But after we, you know, us and the Rangers finished going, I watched Kane and Jay-Z go back to back, right? And, you know, if anybody knows, Kane took Jay-Z on tour, gave him the roots of the game, gave him, you know, a lot of the knowledge that he had about the game. And you just saw the teacher passing the baton to the student, and the student becoming a teacher, because Jay was on his ooh. I've never heard these rhymes before. Not even on Reasonable Doubt. We were just there in amazement. And I think I told maybe 2 other people this. Listen to Jay-Z rap at that time on Stretch Armstrong Barbados. I wanted to quit rap. I was like, there's no, because Kane was the guy who I was looking, he was my idol. I had this guy on my wall when I was in college. They'd come home and being his friend and rapping with him, and then seeing Jay-Z, like, blew my mind. Blew my mind. And I see where Jay-Z is at now. I didn't know he would become this billionaire, but I knew he would become one of the best in the game back then.
That's dope, man.
That's a super fact. That's a super fact.
Dope. It's dope.
Yeah, some things I just, you know, only share with my music guys, man. So,
good memories. Good memories.
Oh, yeah. We're going to talk. There's a lot more, but the show tonight is about you, your accomplishments, and the fact that you overcame so much and still here, still able to provide people with some good music, and you didn't lose your fight.
Yeah.
A lot of people, when they lose their fight because some things happen, and I think that you're going to be motivation for others to never give up and keep striving to be their best you that you could possibly be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I appreciate that, man. And, you know, sometimes with the climate of the industry, you get a little discouraged, but at the same time, when you staying true to yourself, there's no loss in that. So, you know, I could write about anything. Like, you know, I could write about whatever's going on, but I choose to do it in a manner. Maybe I'm going to be the person that sparks the pen of the artist that's going to make change in the world. Like, so, if you're at a certain age, you got to use what you know. There's a lot of power in prevention. And if you're an artist coming up, I want them to see that music is bigger than drill. It's bigger than your beef. It's bigger than the negativity, how we speak about our women. It's bigger than that. I go in there with examples of dope music. I said, I feel bad for the young kids because when I was younger, I could reach back for Tupac, Keep Your Head Up. I could reach back for Lupe Fiasco and dope music that could take me into a space where I felt good. I said, y'all don't have that now. You don't have that one young artist that could give you something uplifting that it will change your mood. And when I sit and I talk to my kids about management of anger, one of the number one techniques to calming yourself down is music. So you got to have that song that you could go to that changes your mood, because that's how powerful music is. So I want them to be able to write from a perspective of intelligence and have an understanding that what we seeing in music right now is not everybody's story. We got so much more to us as a culture that needs to be celebrated. You know what I mean? Where's our Dear Mama songs? Where's our, Keep Your Head Up? What do we got for the ladies? What do we got for the women? You know what I mean? What do we got for the young kids? Like, my daughter is 9 years old. She listens to everything I write. So, of course, I'm going to change my pen. I could talk that dumb shit y'all talking, but it's a bigger picture. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm encouraging them to do. I could complain that all we hear is the same thing, or I could make some change. And that's what I'm doing in my program. Your problem is our problem. Getting back to it takes a community to raise our kids in music and sports and mentoring, and they got to have a brighter future than what we're seeing right now.
That's real, man. That's real. And also, I have a mentor program that I run out of my school, and maybe we could connect, and I could share some of my things with you, and you can implement it in what you're doing.
Absolutely.
That it's about sharing. If you need my time and my efforts, you just let me know, and maybe we can collab and do some things. But just remember this: no one wanted to hear Jay-Z when he was rapping. Nobody wanted to sign him. Nobody believed in him. No one, until he did it himself. So you just keep pushing, man. Like we always say in the music world, you just one hit away.
That's right. All you need is one.
So you're right. That's right. That's right. So if you could change anything about your basketball journey, what would it be?
I just feel like, this what I was talking about this with one of my friends the other day. I said, if they came back and they told me, listen, you could go to Duke University or North Carolina and play, but you can't meet none of the people along the way that you met during your journey now, would you trade it for that? And I said no, because in my basketball journey, I met so many people that are still in my real life now. My only real regret is that when I was playing overseas and I will finish the season, I was relaxing. I didn't play. I was supposed to be going to other countries and moving around. I didn't do that. I wasn't a journeyman. But outside of that, the game has given me so much that I really don't have many regrets. I loved it. I got so much priceless stuff out of basketball. Is a game of life. There's so many things that's relative to real life. Like, you're going to be working with a team. It's not just about you. Whatever you do in your household as a kid, that's your job to make the function of that household exist. So if you're a point guard and you're a leader, you got to be a leader. So it's, the lingo of basketball and how we can relate that to real life. So the game has treated me so well, brother. Like, everybody, we all want to go to the NBA, but we understand as you get older, it's only 58 spots every year for the world. So that's not everybody's reality. But the game has taken me so many places in this world. Like, I played in Indonesia. Like, I was able to change lives with my game and my experiences through basketball. So I wouldn't trade that for nothing.
Got you. Well, it's time for the legendary top five. All right. Top 5 players from LG.
From LG?
Yep.
I'm not gonna name myself.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with Raheem Jennings.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with Keith Williams.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with Todd Kennedy. My man Todd Kennedy. Young boy, played at the St. Bonaventure, is real tough. My man P Black and Big E. I'll throw Big E in there.
Got
You know what I mean?
Got you. Top 5 players you played with.
Top 5 players I played with. Bobby Cunningham, Raheem Jennings. My man Rod don't get enough credit. Jermaine Brown, Lincoln legend. Jermaine Brown. and obviously playing on Shaq All-Stars, playing with Shaquille O'Neal, and I'm gonna say half man, half amazing.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Top 5 players you played against.
Top 5 players I played against: Gary Irvin, Bobby Cunningham, Reggie Roberson, Jamal Tinsley, Glenn Young.
One more. I think it's one more.
One more. Boogs.
Got you. What was that game like? You playing against Boogs?
You gotta be real steady. Boogs in his prime, but you gotta take your time. You gotta, you gotta be real steady. But one thing about the teams that Boogs played on, defensively they were more on a string. Like you wasn't going one-on-one with none of them like that.
Right.
Like you gotta beat the whole team. So like just watching it and understanding, like even as a player and a competitor, you see things and you be like, ooh. Like me myself, like players have told me, like I sent a lot of players to the moon. This head fake and this heavy, you going up. So I understand, like, how could I forget this? I played against Kobe in the Rucker.
Ooh.
I ain't guard him. I ain't do nothing, but it's just being on a team that's like looking at that. It's like, it's a lot of battles. I don't like Nolan Johnson, like different. It's so many players. So it's like the list. Abdul Mills, everybody.
It's top 5, not top 8, but I get you.
Top 8.
All right,
yes,
all
sir.
right. Last one. This is New York City Basketball Network. It's a New York City-based show, even though we cover upstate and Long Island. But who are your top 5 players in New York City history overall, in your eyes?
In my eyes, overall.
That's it.
I'm going to say Stephon Marbury, Charles Jones, Stephon Marbury, Charles Jones, Bobby Cunningham, Mark Jackson, and by default, I'm just going to throw in like any one of the Scurries, any one of them.
Got to pick one. Moses, you got Moses, you got Paul, you got Will, right? You got Carrie.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Moses.
Bet.
New York City history, like all of those players are decorated.
Yes. And no one, let me tell you something. No one has yet to pick the same 5. I did over 300 shows. No one has picked the same 5. That's how crazy New York City is.
On some nights, your 5 might change. Like I could easily throw Speedy in there. I could throw. It's like so many, man.
Interchangeable.
Yes.
Well, brother, I appreciate your time. I'm glad we was able to connect and get you on here, man. Definitely have an amazing story. Just want to say I'm proud of you. We're proud of you in New York City. And, thank you for just being one of the top players in New York City history, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, champ. I really appreciate your time and the platform. And I'm looking forward to continuing to build. In the future, like this is the first of many. You know what I mean?
That's right. And don't forget, please, if you know anybody that got a DAP machine,
I'm on that. I'm on that for you.
That. All right?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, brother. Salute. No doubt.
Yes.
Look, when it comes to New York City basketball, 8 million stories in the naked city. But tonight, my guy, Kurt Smalls, he showed you that you can start out not being one of the top players. You can also be in a situation where you run into some trouble, but you don't give up, even though when your back is against the wall. When your back is against the wall, you just have to stay 10 toes down, pray to the Most High, hope you got some support like he had so they can help you get you out that situation so you can bounce back and show the world what you made of. And we all see he became one of the top players at Laurinburg. Then he went to college, was one of the top players in college, 6th in the nation in scoring, 1st in overall all divisions and free throw percentage, and get the chance to play overseas in Australia and make a difference. That's not by mistake. You got to put in the work and keep working and keep wishing that your chances are better than the times when you started. And now look at him. He done put the ball behind him and then transition into the music world. That's right. You can find Big Man Global on all platforms. Let's support our brother and show him that, you know, New York City basketball, we support our own. Well, I'm about to get out of here. Just to let you know, I am your host, Glenn Pooh Harding, and you've been watching Basketball Heads Live, the podcast on NYC Basketball Network, because we are the official home for New York City basketball. Peace.